a few red flags already in the beginning.
My protective order right here. Father has been coming into 2-year-old and 4-year-old daughters.
Thinking you're trying to do something better by getting a man who's going to provide for your children, but you still didn't have the right mindset for it. Shalom, my love. So I want to dive right into this topic. You know, if you follow me, I have been making videos about monitoring spirits, familiar spirits, and the latest one I put out was on energy and spiritual vampires. The next one I have is going to be on jealousy and envious spirits. But before I put that one out, I do want to touch on a topic. Somebody brought it to my attention, a story about someone who goes by the name of Isis. Her channel name is The New Trophy Wife, and her situation. And I kind of want to relate that to energy and spiritual vampires as an example of this day and time, why it is essential for us to pay attention to these things, pay attention to character of people, patterns of people, not ignore red flags, and also heal yourself so that you won't be a spiritual energy vampire, or also you will not fall for a spiritual energy vampire. So first things first, the title of her latest video is I Married a Monster. She erased all of her other videos before that. So the only one that's on her channel now is that one. If she did not erase that one this morning, I didn't check. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of give a run through, not just based on that video, but based on other videos that she had on her page before deleting it. Unfortunately, I do not have a clip of that. So Isis is not her government name, but she goes by Isis. She states that she was a product of SA, and she also was SA'd as a child by her neighbor's husband. She also stated that she used to date thugs. She wanted a change. She wanted a husband. She doesn't specify when she wanted that change, at what point in her life she realized, she was picking the wrong men. But by the time her oldest son was 5 years old, she was an active member on eHarmony. I think someone suggested her to apply for eHarmony or another app, but she ended up applying for eHarmony. And she dated men with the means to provide for her and her children, taking advice from Shira7. I never heard of her before until this, but Shira7, aka the Sprinkle Lady, and Kevin Samuels. I guess, taking accountability and cleaning yourself up, I guess you will get from Kevin Samuels. I don't know. But she took advices from both dating coaches. I would imagine she had advice from other dating coaches as well, because once you start kind of looking at that, some people you kind of look at others too, but you do have your main people that you might look at. As far as myself, the main people that I look at are people who already have the belief that I believe in. So it's not like they're teaching me anything. These are already things that I believe in, and they just reassuring that I'm not tripping. Her reason probably totally different. She probably literally didn't have good examples, and she literally clearly took the advices of these people and formulated a new improved self, what she thought to be. So she changed her look, the way she spoke, her methods of finding a high quality man based off their advices. I'm sure other people's advices as well. In her looking phase, she was weighing her options. So she dated a guy who asked her to be her girlfriend on their first date and told him that she'll think about it, while she chose to date more seriously this other guy that she was dealing with, because that guy was invested in her more, and providing more for her. So she chose the one who was doing more. She ended up breaking up with him because she started noticing that her oldest son and that guy was not meshing. They was not vibing together. So she let him go, but they were living together. So their lease was about to be up. It just so happened the day after the breakup, I think, or something. The guy that took her on a date and asked to be the girlfriend on a first date from eHarmony, he asked what he called out the blue, and then she ended up spilling everything to this man. She told him that she, was end up in a serious relationship with someone else. They broke up. Now she needs a place to stay for a few weeks until she can find another place. The guy then told her, "You cannot. If you come to my live with me, it will have to be under the terms that you are my wife." So what the girl did was end up going and buying him a ring, a $300 ring, and the next day or whatever, she told the guy they was on a FaceTime call, was like, "Oh, I did something." He was like, "What did you do?" And she was like, "I brought you a ring." He didn't believe her. He asked to see the ring. She showed him the ring, and then the next the next day she went on his eHarmony page, and she seen that he updated his account, his profile picture, and she called him. She was like, "Look, I'm calling this off. You are not serious. I'm serious and you're not." The guy was like, "Oh, no, 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 I am serious. I want to marry you. I'm going to marry you." He ended up buying her a ring, and within the next week, they got married. So to me, that was definitely a few red flags already in the beginning that would have, made my attendance go up. One, him asking to be the, for one, eHarmony. If you look at the man pictures, I'm sorry, I ain't even gonna hold you. I have finally gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, maybe I need to try something out. And online dating is so popular, and everybody's saying that that's what they do. I tried it out. I did not like it. I did not want to go with like the Tinder, Grumble, with all these other dating apps, because I already have the impression that these dating apps people aren't serious. They just looking for somebody to screw or whatever. So I didn't go for that. I wanted to go for one of the more serious one where professionals will be, and I did try eHarmony. However, half of the people look fake, like it's fake profiles, catfish. It was just giving weird. It was just giving like weird men. And that's also, I thought that maybe this was me being paranoid, because I always have been paranoid about these dating sites, because I just think, okay, what if I meet a serial killer? And so this story does not make it any better. But anyways, I don't want to jump the gun. So the red flag was him asking her to be his girlfriend after the first date. Like, you don't even know this woman, she don't know you. That sounds like love bomb. And a red flag for him, because I wanna also look at two sides of the story. I'm kind of leaning towards believing in her. I have my reasons why, but let's just say this woman is making up all of this, and you know the man is innocent. He should have, this should have been a red flag for him too. Like, you call this woman and she telling you all of this, and she needs somewhere to stay, and you offer her your home and you marry her so soon. Like, what is really happening here? But anyways, so red flag number two should have been, once you told this dude, "Oh, the guy didn't like my friend," and now my son, now he want to act like, because she said that he was like, "Oh, that's my boys, that's my boy." How is that your boys? You don't know me like that, nor my sons. They only say that I'm sure we're missing some information, clearly, because he had to have met the boys for him to be like, "That's my boys." So either he prematurely met your sons a little early, or maybe you're one of those people. If you date me, you date my son too. So the son was on a date. I don't know, but or he did meet the son outside the date, but within a short period of time. But just the fact that you trying to act all close with my son and you don't know him like that. Personally, I hate when somebody act too familiar with me. Don't act like you know me like that when you don't know me like that. You don't know me from a can of paint. it rubs me so wrong. It rubs me like you, like what's your agenda? Um, so that would have been second red flag for me. And the third red flag would have been your ultimatum. Like that's definitely gaslight narcissist behavior. Like how you gonna give me an ultimatum? I'm asking you, can I stay in your house for, which she probably was bullshitting herself, but I'm asking to stay in your house for a few weeks until I find another place. And here you bring up, okay, you can only stay here if I get married. What? So the story that was all a mess altogether, like on both of their ends. Um, but to stick with my point, that was three red flags. Well, really four, because eHarmony should that would have been a red flag for me to be a little extra cautious anyway, meeting somebody online. So he brought her. Okay, so when he updated the profile, she still called it off. He ended up saying, no, 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 I am serious. I'm going to marry you. And he ended up buying her a ring. And I think maybe it was the next day or within that week. And then within 1 week, they were married. Within the clip, the latest clip, she did mention,
I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
so within a few months of your marriage, she said that he SA'd her 4 times. That's definitely a 4 red flags right there. So we on red flag number 8. That should have rung bells. In between the first few months, I would probably guess the daughter was born, the oldest daughter. If he raped her, or it was consensual from the timeline, I think 2019 or 2020, within that time, for the daughter to be 4 years old now, they had to have within the first year of their marriage. So despite that, she created this entire YouTube channel based off being a trophy wife. Now you could go and look at other people's videos, because a lot of people, before she deleted it, they took some clips from what the things that she was promoting and teaching women. I did look at her page before she deleted everything. And even I noticed she deleted everything on her Instagram. Her Instagram was pretty much the same, kind of like posting about, her lifestyle and, living like a housewife who with a man with money. So she was promoting and teaching other women how to accomplish getting married to a rich man within a year. Getting a ring from a man, yada yada yada. And she started her page in 2023. Mind you, my guess is that they probably married in 2019, 2020. She stated that she felt he was her Prince Charming.
As I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that man was my Prince Charming.
I'm assuming he did love bomb her. So what I did find, she started the page in 2023, which was strange, because in 2023 she also dropped, well, you know what, I don't know who, because it doesn't say the name of the woman, but he has a domestic violence case that was dropped in 2023, and I would assume it was with her, because who else are you going to be domestic violence case with? So that was kind of strange that the same year that case was dropped, she started her page. But with love bombing and abusers, they do go through cycles. There is a cycle of, the honeymoon phase, I forgot the exact term, but I'll put it here. The cycles of abusers, they will make women with the love bomb phase, they make women feel like, everything is all good and it's beautiful, and it could go like that for some time until something horrific happens, and then they bring the woman all the way back down. But before she deleted her content, they scanned her page and she did not post in 8 months. So from now to, like, I think it was maybe February was the last time I seen a post on her page before the latest video, which was the accusation video that was about a week ago. That her last post was when she was in her second trimester. So I think her last child was another boy. So she has 3 kids with this boy, 5 in total, because she had 2 sons before this marriage. So now she has 5 kids, a baby boy, and she stated within that video,
6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister, because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids, and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old.
6 weeks ago from when she made the video, which was November 15th, this was another flag to me. She had to think of a way, right? She said she had to think of a reason to take all 5 of her kids out of the house without him getting suspicious, basically. As the mother of these children, and they are still underage kids, not like the boy is 15 years old, he's still no more than 10. Why would you have to explain to your husband why you taking all of your kids out of the house? Y'all could be going to the grocery store, the mall, to the park, somewhere fun, whatever. Why you had to come up with something that he would believe? So that right there, I think people not paying attention to that, but abusers may have women afraid, and so she has that on her mind to be able to take her children out the house carefully without him getting suspicious for a reason. There has to been a reason for that. So that was a red flag to me, for the public to pay attention to. That I don't think out of all of these people who making these videos and about this woman, I don't think they noticed that. But she finally came up with her reason. She told her husband that she was going Halloween shopping with the kids and her sister. So she ended up taking all her kids. Instead, she went to the hospital, and it came out that her both daughters, the 4-year-old daughter and the younger daughter, was being molested by their dad. Scenarios. His possibility and her possibility. If she's completely lying on this man because she wants more from him, or because of the niece saying that his niece is saying that she's lying because it's the son, the older son, who's molesting the daughters, and before she put her son out there like that, she's blaming it on her uncle because she also want more money from the uncle, and they having like marital problems, and the uncle wants a divorce. And so she coming up with this whole story. If that's the case, either or can reflect back to someone being a spiritual or energy vampire. Like, if this woman is really doing that, that just shows the wickedness of this woman. She took her time, changed herself, disguised herself on the outside to manipulate a man into marry her, preyed on an older man who want a beautiful woman. We all know men, fall in love with their eyes and their penis. And, for her to literally like drain that man in that way is wicked, is, both an energy and spiritual vampire, because now, this man got to go through the mentality in everyday life of, this woman putting these accusations out on him, this woman draining his money, this woman probably draining his mental health as well. That's that energy, that vampire energy that I'm referring to in that previous video, and that can definitely come from her unhealed trauma. And the only thing on your mind is surviving and finding a man to take care of you, and you using your pretty privilege to accomplish that. Like, that is just evil. Using a pretty privilege and haughtiness, being haughty, even though she didn't choose the whoring route most of these women are choosing, to utilize choosing and being, firm leashes, sucking the energy from men. She chose the route of finding an actual husband, but still in all her intent. Because don't get it twisted. Women, at the end of the day, it's our nature to want a man to provide. However, there are still differences in approaching that. Like, are you solely for yourself and material things, or are you want to be in partnership with this man to help build his legacy, and which will be your legacy too? I'm just gonna put that out because I don't want to 100% act like I know this man is a monster. So that's just in case him. However, I do really believe that this girl, child, I don't know how old she is. She probably around my age, but whatever. The mentality is what I'm talking about. Child with a start.
Proof right here. Right here. Show me your paperwork. Show me your paperwork. Oh my gracious goodness. Coming on here trying to blame my son. Someone whom I've never met in my life. Trying to come on here and blame my son for the sick and disgusting things that my daughter's father was doing. This is not a game. This. Y'all want to see my protective order? Y'all want to see my protective order? Right here. I'm going to cover my daughter's name. I'm going to cover my daughter's name. In the case of a vulnerable adult and a minor child, a relative, there is a preponderance of the evidence to believe that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Statutory abuse of a child. R word or a statutory S offense. Father has been coming into two-year-old and 4-year-old daughters' rooms and SAing them. This is from the judge. There's the case number. It matches the records. There's the proof. There's the proof. There's the proof. I'm done. That's all. I'm done.
Her unfortunate generational curse, right? Okay, so if you watched my video about spiritual energy vampires, one of the things that creates a spiritual energy vampire is unhealed childhood trauma or unhealed trauma, period. So she already mentioned she was SA'd as a child, and she also was a product of SA. So when she said I'm a product of SA, I'm assuming she was born from a mother who was SA'd from a man, and she was the outcome of the SA. So spiritual energy vampires, unhealed trauma. I'm sure he has many dark skeletons in his closet that are unhealed himself. She was unable to even be able to pinpoint these red flags, or even if she pinpointed it or seen it, her entitlement to this lavish life was more important that she ignored it. So as a entitled pretty girl privileged with no brains to match, you can miss many marks when it comes to femininity and following the Most High. So I say that because a lot of women, we do want to heal. We are in, I do notice a lot of women are, especially Black women, are in a time in their life when they're feeling like, okay, I want to be more feminine. I want, a man to provide. I want a masculine man, and I want to heal childhood trauma and just becoming better. However, if you don't have that proper guidance and you just keep going off these people on the internet who's not, don't get me wrong, they got some good people on the internet. I definitely agree with Yada because he do, speak on the importance of healing your childhood trauma. Like, I don't feel people, like, if we don't figure that out and show me a Black person who did not have some type of dysfunction in their family, whether it was a passive, whether it was, aggressive, whether it was, unspoken, whether it was, secretive, whatever. Like, I can probably bet $1,000 that 99% of us who are a product of slavery had some type of dysfunction. And that's not me saying white people don't. I'm sure they do have dysfunctional homes too. It's obvious. Look at Eminem. But we're focusing on us right now. And we have a lot to work on, whether some people may be more than others. The fact that she thought it was more important to find a man to provide without tapping into your issues. I feel like that's a huge, one of the huge reasons why she missed the mark. Like we gotta heal, y'all. We got to heal. Even I'd say coming into this way of life, like we coming into this way of life and we are not addressing issues we have. The jealous heart, the envious heart, the toxic, and then you're spreading that because what you're going through at home, your misery at home is why you're nasty. Like it's just too much going on. But we're not working on our insides. We're only working on the outside. Like, whew. So she's going around looking for a man to leech on as a spiritual energy vampire herself, and that's what she ended up attracting.
It's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be. And was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband. And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk. Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that. And he knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think like I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
She pretty much trauma bonded. So she was a product of SA and was SA as a child, and she ended up getting a man who SA her own child. So now you didn't unconsciously thinking you're trying to do something better by getting a man who's going to provide for your children, but you still didn't have the right mindset for it. Your inside, your heart wasn't right, and now you end up repeating the cycle. This is not the ancient times. Ancient times, like I say, it's not nothing new that a woman want a man to provide. However, in ancient times, them women had their fathers to help choose for them. They were raised totally different. They were raised in households for the most part with both parents. They were raised to marry. And the men were the same. The men were not saying all, because they had some crazy stories, but the men were raised to find a good wife. The men were raised to know they have to provide, and providing does not just mean financially, and then you could abuse the woman physically and emotionally. And then, the goal was to be righteous, righteous men, this and other. So we we're skipping parts. Like we want to become feminine again, but we're becoming feminine thinking femininity means keeping my nails done, keeping my hair done, putting on makeup, getting dressed cute. That is not, that is your physical appearance and being poised and stuff like that. But being poised has more in demure. Everybody will be very demure. Don't even use the word right. Y'all want to do that, but don't even know the foundation of that. But we got to think, baby, we didn't miss the little dainty things as a child. Half of the girls, half of the girls did not get these little dainty things. So you can't just throw on a dress and think, now I'm feminine. Like, what is your mindset? Do you have a dainty, poised mindset? Or your insides, are you really feminine on the inside? And that's not just your appearance. That's the way you think. You know why it's so important for me to choose the right man to submit to marry? Because submission is not just me serving a man food and cleaning up. Like, my whole life is going to be in your hands. I can give suggestions. I want a man who's going to consider my intelligence and trust me as well. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to life decisions with me and my children, the final decision is going to be on the man. That's the mission. Do you trust this man that much to hold you? Providing and protecting is not just giving money and shooting somebody if you had a burglary. Providing and protecting spiritually, emotionally, financially. Is he going to consider you? Is he going to, it's a lot. But I definitely feel like we are missing a mark with these things, and we just, thinking material, and we're not, healing on the inside. You can't bring your grown self into that type of traditional way without like even acknowledging that your mama did it wrong, your grandmama did it wrong. These people ain't do it right. How you even gonna do it right? How you gonna do it right if you never seen it done right? You got to do the work within yourself first before you call yourself picking the wrong person, picking somebody you can't even choose. So, that's what I was gonna say. This is not the ancient times where we had our fathers to protect us and make sure we pick the right person. We're choosing for ourselves. So it is very important for us to be mentally strong enough and smart enough, intelligent enough to be able to make that decision for ourselves and it be a wise decision. And we can't do that one without God. If the man has to submit to God in order for you to submit to him, if you don't have a real relationship with God, I ain't talking about some, oh yeah, I know God, I'm highly favored. Everybody wants to say that. Can you even obey God and listen to what God say without, oh, but God know my heart. I can do this because God know my heart. That's not following God. God say what he said and you do what he said, period. So if you don't have a real relationship with the Most High, where, you are really obeying him as a father, how you going to be able to pick a man who didn't submit it to God if you don't know what submission to God look like yourself? Another thing, a lot of these women in this way of life jumping into marriages with these men because they, first thing they think, okay, I finally found me a righteous man. Christian women do it too. I finally found me a righteous man. Sis don't know nothing in scripture for real. She don't know nothing in scripture for real. But she just impressed by a man who opened the Bible and read it. And so 2 years after the marriage, she's starting to realize he's full of crap. But if you would have developed that relationship with the Most High yourself, you would have been able to spot that on a little bit sooner. Without, these proper steps and jumping the gun, your intentions for it, you're going to attract what your intentions are, if that makes sense. Your discernment, you're not going to have good discernment because you you don't really have that. Your intuition is not that strong. We all have intuition and we like to ignore it. But the strong, what I've noticed, the more and more I grow with the Most High, the more I notice I cannot ignore my intuition. Even if I wanted to, the Most High ain't gonna let it happen. So even when as a woman, my emotions get the best of me, the Most High cut it off for me. That's that relationship with the Most High I'm talking about. Like, the Most High can even step in. He's my husband right now, so sometimes he step in and be like, "No, that's not happening." Are you grounded with the Most High for real? What is your mindset? What is your values? The values for this sister was money, being a trophy wife. The positive, I do commend her for putting her children, even though I feel like, the negative, she didn't put her children first because she should have, as a saying, it's hard with, that's why we have to be important. I mean, strategic and careful who we have our children with, but we won't be single mothers. But you already had kids, two boys. And I often tell women, stop, like a lot of women jump from man to man to man trying to, and when you have kids, why don't you just focus on your kids? God gonna bring you, God gonna do the rest. God will bring someone to be stepdad when it's the right person. But jumping from man to man to man to man instead of pouring in your energy for your child, that always confused me with single mothers. But I didn't like that she lived with one man and then within a few weeks living with another man married like that. How your sons looked at that, especially your 5-year old. The other one probably was too young, but that was the negative. But the positive that I did like, she did leave the other man, when she noticed he did not get along with the son who was 5 at that time, the oldest son. And then she did leave her husband when she found out he was abusive. Because there's also a lot of women in this world who will stick with it because they don't want to give up their lifestyle. The men will take care of her. She could have told her son, whatever, get along with the man, figure it out, or ignore it. Or within this situation with her marriage, sickly as it sounds, a lot of women turn a blind eye. So their daughters being molested, or their sons being molested. I seen a Netflix movie about that. A man was raping his own sons, and the wife turned her blind eye for years because she liked her lifestyle, and she loved the man. But so I do commend her for that. But the pretty girl privilege do not work for a good man. So pretty girl privilege, yes, it is definitely a thing. Pretty girls get, you know, different treatment or extra things or free things, free dates, this and the other. But of course, we pretty, they want to have sex with us. And then as far as it don't work for a good man. If you literally looking for a one of a kind type of man, that type of man is rare. And even if he, do want a beautiful woman is not the only thing they're looking for. There's other values, attributes, morals that this man gonna need in a wife. So when we're speaking about trying to find a good man, was she put it, she thought she had her Prince Charming, she thought she won the lottery, she thought she had it all. Of course, like I said, she didn't have the brain capacity to think about these things. She was focused on just finding that man, but she missed the mark in good man because, you know, I can only speak on, I can speak for myself because I'm doing this work right now. I do want a good man, a high value man. And what high value means to me may not mean high value to someone with the mentality of material, just pure material. So high value to me is, one, spiritual, a spiritual man. Are you elevated? Are you a light? You can't be on demon time. You can't be toxic. You can't be, have skeletons in your closet and think you're a high value person. Like, having a higher value, you gotta heal within. So I'm working on that, because yes, I want a high value man. How you gonna want to be this feminine woman, want to be this poised, demure, woman, this trophy, a real trophy wife, not a trophy on the outside, but a real, token of Proverbs 31, and you did not work on your insides. Like, this is why women are not the hunters, and women should focus on themselves, their emotional intelligence, their relationships with the Most High, and skills, and build their self. Because I'm all for my man providing. I definitely want to provide. I'm traditional in that way. However, I do believe certain things, like my money gonna go towards the heritage for our kids, the legacy, um, and then emergency. If something happens to my husband, of course I'll pick up the slack. Or the extra fun things. If I have a husband who paying the mortgage, taking care of the home, baby, I still want to have fun. I still want to be fly. I love dressing cute. I want to go on trips. Like, my money could be for the fun stuff. But, how you gonna do that when you just solely, you have nothing to bring, and I don't know if I like or not this term with, the new thing of men asking women, what do you bring to the table? But for lack of better terms, that's topic for another day. What do you bring to the table? What are you building, within yourself to be a good man, a good woman for this man? For a real good man. Um, and with that, allowing the Most High and trusting in the Most High to bring your man. Like, I feel like we do rush, we do go trying to hunt, and not trusting that the Most High gonna have our back if we really develop a relationship with the Most High, and He's really gonna be a good man, and not someone who disguised themselves in sheep clothing, but really is a wolf. Like, I think a lot of times, you know, people look at everybody else, the coveting. I'm going to talk about that in my next video about jealousy and envy. But people look at everybody else in the social media world and what everybody putting out this fake story in front, that you know we're missing solitude. We're missing learning ourselves, learning our own purpose, learning, and Lord forbid, even talk about women with children. Like, you not even think about yourself only anymore. You think about your kids. Like, women really don't even be thinking about their kids. Like, I can't understand some things. Like, what is wrong with our mentality? Like, and that just goes back to show that we got issues from childhood, mental issues from childhood, that we not even realizing we have. Because for you to had even done that whole thing and think that this was some type of you know knight in shining armor, not saying that that won't never happen, but he already gave you red flags. So you ignored those red flags and really thought that this was some, you know I'm so pretty, so I got this. Like, where's the brain? Um, so I heard so many stories from women married to men that they initially was attracted to him because the men follow scripture. Later on, the relationship end up, being hard relationships to be in, because either the men mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, or even physically abusive. And like I say, that is within any religion. Like, if people don't realize right now that people be fake followers of God, baby, that's something mental with you alone. Like, Christians, Muslims, Israelites, I'm sure Hinduism, everybody, atheists, whatever, all of these followings of people follow the universe, these are both people, whatever, they all have men there or women in that following who are hypocrites or deceitful, who are, you know, the devil in disguise. So, even more so with that, you have to pay attention to a person and, test them out and, try to learn their character. You know, you can even still do all of this and still miss the mark. But I think with her situation, she definitely had telltale signs that, this man was gaslighting her. He was even a situation where he went and I think he probably updated his profile as a tactic, knowing that this woman gonna go look at it and want to, that was like his way of pushing um the marriage, if that makes sense. I definitely have studied different tactics of manipulating men, and that sound like something he probably did purposely. So, scriptures against haughtiness and pride. With her whole page being based on, oh, this is how you get a man in a year. Like she was one of those showing her ring, flipping her hair, cute. Teeth wasn't even not even fixed, but pretty much I think the light skin privilege is definitely a thing. I think she used her light skin privilege because she wasn't, to me personally, if you ask as far as beauty, she's cute, but there was nothing really about her that's without her makeup and stuff on. Nothing about her that's that outrageously beautiful. But people do feel entitled when they are cute, or pretty, have the pretty privilege. Um, I can say if you're grounded with the Most High, another thing that I am going through right now, and I'm trying to find my way back in. When you literally devote yourself and give yourself fully to the Most High, you're going to lose a little. You're going to lose a little confidence because for one, you're dressing totally different from the normal society. And then being modest is not just about the way you dress, but it's your actions too. So I no longer, I'm not really on it, going out and stuff like that. And so there's less, interactions with men. So I'm no longer getting, the men lusting over me like that. And, you know, that I've been finding myself wondering like, oh, I ain't been getting no compliments. I do have to remember it's because I'm not going nowhere. But because even though I dress more modest than normal society, when I do go out, men still do try to talk to me. But it's still different. It's definitely different being modest, and I feel like when you fully give yourself to the Most High, you go through like it definitely humbles you, right? It humbles you all the way down, and you have to realize, even being haughty and trying to use your beauty to get what you want, that's not godly. That's not what the Most High want, and we've been punished for that several times as daughters of Zion. But that's the reason why I brought up these scriptures, because if you truly, because she said, why this is happening, I asked God, yada yada yada. Your heart wasn't right. And I don't want to judge. I'm just bringing out what I've noticed from these scenarios. And I definitely feel like from her page, she was a little haughty and proudful, and that is not with the Most High. That's not favorable of the Most High. So you found yourself in a situation where the cycle has repeated itself. Thankfully, hopefully, this about her leaving her husband, she's breaking it, and hopefully, I pray that she go and get inner healing and focus on herself and not another man. But Deuteronomy 23 verse 17, there should be no whore of the daughters of Israel, and nor sodomites of the sons of Israel. Since 2020 to now, kind of now I don't really have to say that much, but I have to kind of constantly remind myself what the Most High do not like, what the Most High do not want us to do. So that's why I say that. 2 Samuel 22:23. And the afflicted people thou wilt save, but thine eyes are upon the haughty, thou that thou mayest bring them down. So a lot of these is just a reminder. If you gotta remind yourself, don't be haughty, don't be proudful. Trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not unto our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge the Most High, and the Most High will direct our path. That's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. That's one of my favorite little things to say right quick when I just have to remind myself that, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's tough being single, trying to go through this journey of inner healing. But if I just trust in the Most High with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding, the Most High will direct my path. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. So, as y'all seen, she was very haughty. And her whole thing fell. She had to take everything off her page out of shame. So hopefully this moment is her moment to, reflect back on, her heart. Like, Proverbs chapter 18, verse 12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Most High alone shall be exalted in that day. Isaiah 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Most High said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched necks forth, and wilted eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tickling with their feet. Therefore, the Most High will spite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Most High will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Most High will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their crows, whatever that is, and their round tires like a moon. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of their legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings, the nose rings, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crimson pins, the glasses, the fine linen, the hoods, the veils. And it shall come to pass, and instead the sweet smell they will be stink, and instead the girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girdling of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. The men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So the reason why I pointed that one out is that also could be a reminder to humble yourself. The Most High never say we can't be beautiful. He never say, we can't adorn ourselves and, dress in jewelry and fine things and stuff like that. But the problem coming when we be haughty with it, when we, be lustful with it, when we be greed, when we use it for wickedness, when we use it to be seductive. So yeah. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 15. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 11. I deck thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. And I put, verse 12, I put a jewel on thy forehead, and an earring in thy ears, and a beautiful crown upon thy head. Verse 13, thus was thou decked with gold and silver, and thy remnant was fine linen and silk embroidered work, and thou eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou was exceedingly beautiful, and thou doest proper into the kingdom. But verse 50, and they were haughty and committed abomination before the Most High. Therefore, I took them away and saw good. So earlier in the chapter, as we see, the Most High also blessed them with beautiful, luxurious things. But again, we were haughty and we committed abominations. I think we went and sinned against, wanting what other people had, and the Most High took it away. So, you know, those are like some scriptures that I went throughout these past few years to humble myself and remind myself that yes, I can still be, like the things that I like, but be modest. And it's not just appearance, but it's the inside heart. I have some more for the process of healing past trauma and trying to become a better person. Exodus chapter 50, verse 2, the Most High is my strength and my song, and he is becoming my salvation. He is my Elohim, and I will prepare him an habitation, my Father, Most High, and I will exalt him. Same chapter, verse 26. Instead, if thou will diligently hearken to the voice of the Most High Elohim, it will do that which is right in his sight, and give ear to his commandments, and keep his statutes. I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which he had brought to Egypt, for I am the Most High, and that healeth thee. So that one, is a reminder just to say once we diligent to the Most High, he definitely will take care of us. He will not curse us. Psalms chapter 13, verse 1. How long wilt thou forget me, O Most High? Forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and hear me, O Most High, my Elohim. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. But I have trusted that in thy mercy my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Most High, because he had dwelt bountifully with me. So that one, I be going through moments where I feel like, Lord, I do see, I might be the one look at girls like her and be like, damn, why, I'm following the Most High with all my heart, soul, and might. Why I'm not getting my husband? Why, when is he gonna come? When I'm gonna get my good man? And I be having to remind myself, like, everything that glitters ain't gold, obviously. So, continue to work on me, continue to trust in the Most High, and I even, you know, a lot of times I hate when people be like, oh, you shouldn't question God, or you're supposed to just keep faith. We are human at the end of the day. I have doubt. Even Job had doubt. Moses had doubt. I don't know what kind of man Abraham was, but his wife had doubt. Yeah, I'm human. We have doubt. It is hard. And looking at forefathers who were still worthy of the Most High blessings, who had doubt, it even questioned the Most High or say these type of words to the Most High, and the Most High still, he hearkened, he, heard them, and he did not forget his devoted ones. So Psalms chapter 34, verse 18, the Most High is nigh unto them that is broken of heart, and saveth such as be of contrite spirit. So, humble yourself to the Most High, and the Most High will be nigh to you. Psalms chapter 118, verse 5. I call upon the Most High in distress. The Most High answer me and set me in a large place. You can't wait. Psalms chapter 30, verse 1. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Most High. Most High, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If the Most High Elohim shall mark iniquities, O Most High, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest fear. I wait for the Most High, my soul, do it wait, and in his word do I hope. O soul, waited for the Most High, more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope in the Most High, for with the Most High there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from his iniquities. So, of course, that's kind of self-explanatory. Speaking on, waiting on the Most High, asking the Most High to hear my cry, like that. Baby, that's my life right about now. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 21. This one is also a reminder to myself. But if the wicked turn away from all his sins that he had committed, and keep all my statutes and do which is lawful and right, he should surely live, he should not die. All the transgressions that he had committed, they shall not be mentioned unto him. His righteousness that he had done, he shall live. Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked shall die, said the Most High Elohim, and not that he shall return from his ways and live? For the Most High want us to turn away from our wickedness and live. But when the righteous turn away from his righteousness and committed iniquity and do according to all the abominations that the wicked man do, shall he live? All his righteousness that he had done should not be mentioned, and his trespass that he had trespassed, and all in his sin that he has sinned, in them shall he die. Yet ye say, the way of the Most High is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal? When a righteous man turned away from his righteousness and committed iniquity and died in them, for his iniquity that he had done shall he die. Again, when the wicked man turned away from his wickedness that he had committed and do it, that which is lawful and right, he shall save his soul alive, because he considereth and turned away from all his transgressions and had committed, he shall surely live and he shall not die. Yet, said the house of Israel, the way of the Most High is not equal. O house of Israel, are not your ways unequal? Therefore, I will judge you, O house of Israel, everyone according to his ways, saith the Most High Elohim. Repent and turn yourself from all your transgressions, so inequity shall not be your ruin. Cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby ye have transgressed. Make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why shall ye die, O house of Israel? For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith the Most High Elohim. Therefore turn yourself and ye live. That one, like I said, I definitely have been using that, since I think the past 2 years, as a reminder to myself. But for this case scenario, I definitely pray and I hope, if this situation is true, I pray that that man is held accountable for his iniquities, his wickedness, his sins. And I really pray that the woman change her heart and her motive, or, her mindset, and thinking, she just gonna get this pretty girl privilege with a nasty inside, a nasty, just, being powerful, and thinking the answer is getting a man to just, buy you and be a trophy wife. Like, I am not against women seeking a provider. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm talking about the mindset, that spiritual energy, vampire type, Jezebel or Delilah mindset, that a woman felt entitled and thinks she can get it easy because she's beautiful. And then at the end of the day, what is your, end goal to this man? Because even though he's providing, you're supposed to be able to be his helpmate. You're supposed to be able to bring something, to the legacy, like his seed. Like what is your overall thought process? So I hope she take this moment and something about this really changes her, and she can break that cycle and that curse from off of her, bloodline of being victim of SA. Ezekiel 36 started at verse 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and bring you into your own land. Then I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from your filthiness and from your idols, and I will cleanse you. A new heart also I will give you, a new spirit will I put into you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn, and I will increase it, and I will lay no famine upon you, and I will multiply the fruit of the tree and increase the field, and ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall love yourself in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Not for your sake do I this, saith the Most High, but it known unto you. Be ashamed and confronted your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Most High Elohim, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities. Their waste shall be builded. So, yes, I really, really hope that this woman and other women out here like her, again, I do understand we are trying to be feminine now. We are trying to, revert back to letting a man lead us and living this soft life, and, doing what we are really innately were born to do, be wise, but we don't have the right mentality for that, without realizing some things, without realizing, going back in the past, not just our past, but the past what happened to us to get us to the point where we didn't lost our femininity, where we, besides society, normal society, what happened with us, during after during and after slavery, in the years in between up until now. Like, you know we have generational curses on us, period, as a people, that we have to heal from. And not only fixing ourselves, we have to be mindful. Once we point out these things, we have to be mindful what is out there, what we have to, when we picking a mate, what are we choosing from? Are we doing background checks on these men? Are we looking at the dynamics of his family and what his upbringing was, and what that might, entail as far as the demons he might be carrying, not only from himself but from, his parents. When people think about, breaking generational curses, that's literally, we dealing with the demons that our parents had on them, our grandparents had on them. To break that, why else people go through things where, they try so hard to not, the woman says she watched her turn like a hawk, but even in her sleep, maybe that's when he was able to do that. you know why is it that, her mother went through that. She went through that. Now her child going through that. Baby, that's spiritual warfare that we are going through, that we have to recognize. So we can't just be jumping the gun and, thinking about the beautiful part of these things without getting down to the nitty gritty of it. Like, I really hope this, it's unfortunate that is such this traumatic incident, this horrific incident that happened, but I really, really hope that she take this dark cloud and make it, a means to come into the light, find her relationship and focus on her relationship with the Most High, focus on her children, and focus on her own financial stability, and not her pretty privilege. Because as you see, pretty privilege is not the answer. Being beautiful is a bonus. That's it. Like, that's not your main value. Being beautiful, that's just the bonus. And as you see, you can be beautiful, be boastful about that, be powerful and haughty and seductive to men, thinking you're just gonna get a man to take care of you. And a lot of these beautiful women who have these, she had to be honest, a regular man, but these women we looking at, who's with these entertainers, all of this, the things that the women have to go through behind closed doors. Like, so if you don't have pride in yourself, you don't have morals and values, you're going to endure some crazy stuff. You might endure abuse yourself, mental abuse, emotional abuse. And in this unfortunate case with her baby girls. So, my intake on it, it's an unfortunate situation, but this is exactly why being able to recognize, not ignore, not act like, somebody is, not being oblivious to the fact that they do have monsters out here. When you think of a vampire, it is not the vampire they have showed us on a movie where they suck in your blood by, biting your neck. But an energy and spiritual vampire is someone who's going to bring you and drain you so much. Now this woman got to go through, like she said, her whole world. She felt like her whole world ended. And on top of that, what her daughter's going to psychologically have to go through. So it's totally different from, okay, when you hear the word vampire, you're thinking one thing. No, but taken away from your light, taken away from who you are, taken away from your growth. Now this is the whole setback. She was living on cloud nine, thinking she was in this, the life she wanted. Now she got to figure out X in the world for a GoFundMe to live and to get a lawyer and to do all of these things because you didn't prematurely married a stranger who turned out to be a monster. Yeah, I hope this made sense. I hope this was a sensible example, and I, kind of elaborated well. To give one example, there's trillions of examples out there what an energy, a spiritual vampire can be. But I hope this pointed out well an example that is prevalent and viral right now. This man leached on her. She called herself praying and thinking she was, sucking something, sucking this man's money or whatever, and it backfired. And he ended up, now emotionally draining her, mentally draining her, breaking her down to, a point that she did not imagine. So yeah, please like, subscribe. I'm definitely, I don't really be as consistent as I should be because I am actually literally working on myself too. I don't feel like I can I'm in a position to, be trying to make lesson videos for a trend. Like, I hate the fact that everybody just hop on this internet and teaching people, and in real life they're really not living it. Like, I can't help nobody until I help myself. So I am, for the past few years, I have been growing in, just allowing the Most High to work on me. But I do have more to come. And I really pray that you guys share it, comment, don't just watch my stuff. Please support me. Please share, please subscribe, and look out for more.